What's good, elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Am I bugging, or did today's episode seem a little off? It was noted that Melyssa might get suspended because of the conversation that she had on Spaces, which is a whole different subject. But for Flip and Ice to miss the same episode, that's not weird to y'all? It's not weird that Parks was sitting on the main couch just so he could fill out the room, quote unquote? And now it makes sense even more so why Joe has all these mics, because he's trying to have his podcast look like a television show, and with empty seats and empty chairs, it's not appealing to the watcher or the viewer. I don't know, man. Something is definitely going on behind the scenes. Joe didn't want it to happen like this. If he suspended one of them, he just wanted to suspend one of them. He didn't tell all of them to go home. And now that they are all home, he's about to be able to get experiments off in ways that he's never even thought of getting off before. Just because of this one episode. Now we're about to start seeing shit change up in the way that he's always wanted, but never felt confident enough to fulfill. And because of the presence of Mark Lamont Hill, it reminds me of when Max Kellerman said that LeBron had the same status of a KD and Steph at the same time. This is how Joe is viewing the situation with Mark Lamont Hill. Maybe you could cover for Mel and Flip, or Mel and Ice, or Flip and Ice. However you want to do the tandem. Something is off, though. It was a short episode. There's plenty to cover in the news cycle this week, especially with Shannon and everything that's developing from that case. There's a 3-hour long pod. I'm not saying they weren't in good spirits. It just seemed a little off today. I wonder what actually happened. I checked Melyssa's page, as always, because I want to see if she gave up or if she's continuing to go, and boy, is she continuing to go. It looks like she's shifting hot and bothered from solely being about health and medical advice or information, as she says. She's starting to go to the interview base, and her interviews do well. So I'm curious to see what she's going to do all of season 2. I think Melyssa wanted to step away this time more so than Joe suspending her. Because the main reason Joe suspends her is so the optics don't look terrible, because he still has him firing Rory and Maul following after fresh in his head. That's still fresh in his head. So I don't think Joe would suspend her so closely to a previous suspension. I think they did have a blow up. I think she was able to get her thoughts off on Spaces, and she needed the mental break this go around. Flip is a different story. Flip's been waking up too. If you haven't noticed, Flip's whole attitude has shifted this past 2 months. Shifted. And I see that he's getting consistent again on his YouTube, and they're still doing numbers. So I don't know what's going on in Flip's head. I honestly don't think anybody got suspended this go around. I think it just happened coincidentally. Melyssa let him know, I'm not coming in next episode. But Ice and Flip missing, I don't think Joe knew that until the day it happened. So we'll have to see and pay attention to the behind the scenes on this one, because it's going to look good. Optically they'll get better, but I think they are caught off guard on this one, because any other time it's a dude cast, like, they letting the jokes fly. And I always thought Joe was good at taking jokes, but apparently he's not, man. I didn't realize how much he shuts down the opportunity to poke fun at him. He does it all the time. He may not yell. He doesn't get belligerent. I'll let y'all get y'all jokes off. That's a thing. Joe don't want the jokes. And I'm not really going to speak on the 50 Cent situation, because real niggas have been pressed and have been in situations where they've been nervous and didn't know the outcome. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to speak on that. Clearly they had a discussion, and I'm glad they were able to squash their beef. But real niggas that have been in situations like that and have been paranoid and nervous tend to not speak on those type of situations in the ways others would that have never been. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to the Patreon. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to the next main episode. But I don't think this was Joe's doing. This is the one time people got suspended, and I just don't think it has anything to do with Joe. But how did y'all feel Parks did on the main stage? I know this isn't the first time he's been like on the main part of the pod, but I think he did well. I think Parks would do good sitting in that seat. I'm curious, who was quote unquote engineering the show? Would Parks have the leeway to even sit in front of the camera? Because I don't know. I feel like Parks is doing these things in real time. But Ice, the only reason I would be led to believe something happened behind the scenes with Ice is because of the delay of Podwives. What the heck is going on with Podwives? What the heck is going on with Ice? And I saw someone in the comment section saying that the reason Joe wanted to speak to Ice is because Ice's lady is the reason that this was trending, or a trending topic with Bernice. And let me not get started on that, because I agree with the cast. There are a bunch of fine 40-year-olds. I don't want to place Bernice at the top of the ladder when I see them in real life all the time here in Texas. So I don't know, but it's very telling that Ice wasn't here, and there was a couple of things that Ice voice actually needed to be heard on. So something definitely happened, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. But overall, it was a decent episode. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I wasn't like skipping through parts. It was just, you could tell energy was missing, and you could tell Flip brings that energy whenever he's there. Even if you don't agree with the things that he says, his presence was sorely missed. So I'm curious as to what's going on. I just don't think it was a Joe thing, because we always place the blame on Joe whenever people miss pods. What if insubordination's happening? What if they're about to form a coup? What if this is the turning point? It's just very rare that we see 3 people missing the pod on the same day. I don't know. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think is going on. I saw Danny's video. And I already knew he was going to circulate or speculate, quote unquote, that Melyssa got suspended, because that's what he had predicted. So me, on the other hand, I don't think that would be the best look for Joe, suspending her right off the back of another suspension. Be very curious to see if Melyssa's finally tucking her tail in her boots, or however the saying goes. You know I fucked that all the way up. Very curious to see if Melyssa's just going to say, fuck you, I'm going to rely on myself from here on out. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know I appreciate you. We're going to keep going, guys. We're going to get to it tomorrow. Y'all be safe out here in this cold, cold world. Peace.